Peace family, it's Jay Coffee. Welcome in and welcome back to the Oracle House. I kid y'all not, every time I'm here, I wanna sing the Mr. Rogers. Won't you be my neighbor? That's how you guys make me feel. I've been feeling something in my spirit that I want to talk with y'all about. I guess before I get into that, for those of you who don't like to hear a bunch of jibber jabber and you just want to see your reading, I will time stamp this reading. You can fast forward to the reading itself. The reading I'm going to be doing today is a light and shadow spread for light workers. If you care to listen to what I have to say, stay. If you just want to hear your reading, fast forward. The timestamp will be pinned in the comment section. All right, I'll see you there for those of y'all that are leaving. For those of y'all who want to hear what I have to say, I woke up in the middle of the night. This morning now. The birds are chirping. It's like 4-ish going into 5 maybe. You know, we're entering retrograde, or we've entered retrograde now. We're just coming off of a major eclipse. We all know, if you are a light worker here, you know the frequency of the planet itself is changing. There's a lot of things that I'm more aware of this year than I was several years ago when I first started on this path to becoming a tarot reader. Something that I never imagined I'd be in life. The point is, I've always been a spiritual person, like most of you. If you're a light worker here, I know you have a story. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine, but I know you have a similar story. Who I am, how I am, as who I've always been. I've been the way that I am since I was a child. I've been a seer since I was a child. I've had clairvoyance and, you know, been an empath and all those things since childhood. You know, like most of you, if not all of you that come here, we had to find our way, you guys. You know, we had to find our way. We had to go through different life experiences, and we had to, our true self had to be brought out. Like, we had to go through life experiences until we came to a time of awakening. That happens at different times for all of us. So you can't really judge somebody for where they're at on the journey, right? So that's the point of why I'm talking to you this morning. I'm talking to you because it's so real to me. That frequency gap is so evident to me. I'm going to share at this point in 2023. I'm going to share a little story with you. In about 2019, I think it was, and this was, I guess, the biggest, like, one of the, yeah, it was a massive, it's like a meteoric epic happening in my life that woke me up, that ultimately led me to be here with you guys right now. And I guess that's why it's relevant for me to share it, because maybe somebody out there needs to hear. I'm just compelled to do this morning. You know how most of you can hear, you know, frequencies, like a lot of higher frequencies that maybe other people can't hear? That's something that I started noticing. I started noticing the frequency was becoming louder. So the frequency was asking me to listen, okay? And I started to get more and more quiet. I started to meditate more. I started to pray more. I started to read more. I started to purge my friend circle. Not because any of them had done anything negative to me at all. That had nothing to do with it. I lost friends. And I am so certain that some of those friends to this day have no idea why we don't have contact anymore. But it has to do with the frequency gap between us. I simply was not resonating with those people anymore. I suddenly could not relate to anything they were saying. They started sounding like Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah. And the fact that many of my friends from that part of my life were associated with a religious practice, you know, because I was a part of a group. We couldn't really talk about that anymore. And it's not that I didn't believe fundamental truths about that, you know, religion, or about that religious system, okay? But it just, many of the things that they continued to believe in, aspects of it, I could no longer co-sign. I could no longer agree with. I had found out contrary information, you know, contrast information. And I don't want to argue. I don't want to block anyone. I don't want to hinder anyone else's progress on their journey. Your journey is yours and yours alone, okay? I lost someone very significant to me, which is why I have my little I keep my little totem on my desk. TL gave me this out of the blue one day. Like one day she just showed up with this for me. And everything in me, you know, I looked at it first and I'm like, oh, is that Ganesha? You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be represented that way or thought of that way. This is at this point, the elephant is the totem for my passed on grandmother. Okay, so she's always with me. So I keep that on my desk. That's my totem. That it's like my if you've ever seen Are We There Yet? I think it was with Ice Cube and the bobblehead. You know, he had the bobblehead where it's like the thing was talking to me. No, my totem doesn't talk to me, but it's almost like I can tell when she's present because I will start to feel an energy emit from that direction. And I'm like, okay, it's almost like a little wink. Like, yeah, I'm in the building. I feel when she's in the building. I feel when she's with me. I feel that she's with me right now as I deliver this message to you guys. All that to say, the frequency gap between me and my loved ones has grown. It started like this and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and to the point where I feel at this point I'm cut off from my entire circle. And not, as I said, not because anyone did anything wrong, but because we just don't resonate anymore. Now, I have studied, I have prayed, I have meditated, I have asked, you know, because I always want to understand. I don't want to just understand. I want to fully understand, and to the point where I can have a bird's eye view, that overstanding of why am I here? Why am I doing this? Because if it doesn't have purpose to me, then it's not serving me, right? What learning tarot and reading tarot has allowed me to do for myself on a personal level is to fine-tune my gifts, is to help me to quiet my spirit, help me to understand how to direct and channel my energy, what I'm receiving, what I'm putting out, etc. And in the meantime, it's helped me to fulfill another part of my calling that's always been there, which is a healer, a counselor, a light worker. I don't need the titles and degrees to offer myself to you guys. That's nothing that someone can tell you you can do or can't do. Now, if you're in a position where you need professional help, family, and that's how you feel and that's what you believe in that system, or you believe in pharmakia or pharmaceuticals or whatever, you know, I'm not here to stop you from doing that. Do what you need to do. Advocate for yourself, okay? Advocate for yourself. Use your own good discernment, just as you would when you watch any tarot reading, when you're trying to decipher, is this relevant to me or not? Is that true to me or not? I don't want to be here reading tarot for you guys and give you any false hope. I don't want to give you any sense of, you know, I don't want to feed into anybody's delusion. Do you understand? I'm not here for that. I read cards and I read energy, and I call what I call what I see, and I say what I'm called to say, to God willing help you guys get through whatever it is you're dealing with at that point in your life. But reading tarot for me, when it comes to doing the zodiac sign, let's say, because there's 12 placements on the wheel. A lot of those energies, even though we all have all those energies in our charts, a lot of those energies are not waters that I like to swim in, stay in, or frequent in. And when you read tarot, you have to get out of the way. You have to remove your own ego and your own self completely out of the way in order to be open to receive those energies that don't belong to you. That takes a lot out of me. That has been taking a lot out of me. If you guys are light workers, if you guys are water signs in particular, then you really do understand how overbearing energy can be. I'm sure a lot of people don't understand you if you're sluggish, if you're slow, if you move slow, if you have a lot of physical ailments that have manifested as you've gone through your ascension, because that has happened to me. It used to be such a mystery to me why the doctors could not tell me what was happening. You know what I mean? And then they would treat me as if it was possibly in my head or some form of psychosis. And it wouldn't be until years and years later where something would finally show up in a scan somewhere and they'd be like, oh, you're not crazy. Oh, we do see this or that. You know, that's maddening when you feel like no one can help you figure out what's wrong with you. Now I understand. It was never anything wrong with me per se. It was just a symptom of ascension, a symptom of ascending, symptoms of trauma and childhood trauma, inner child wounding that I had to heal. Okay. I'm talking to my light workers. Don't forget, y'all know if this is not resonating with you, you may not be a part of this group I'm talking to. Okay. But I'm talking to those who know, who feels it, knows it, right? Who feels it, knows it. And y'all know, I know y'all have been through a lot. I've watched some of you go through it. It's a painful process, but it cracks you open, okay? It's like a seed. It's like how a seed this size. I'm trying not to give y'all big head reading today. I'm a little bit. If a seed, it's like a seed this size could hold all the genetic information, or smaller, even smaller than this, for a tree. You know, like think of the size of a willow tree, how big and magnificent and beautiful it can become. It's like one tiny little seed, one tiny little stem or whatever. It holds all the DNA, all the story, all the genetics of its ancestors back to first tree. You get what I'm saying? Like just like back to first man, first woman, whatever. We are the same. And this thing, as it grows, family, we feel growing pains. We feel growing pains. We feel it in our body. We feel it in our mind, in our heart, and our spirit as we continue to transform. I'm at a point where I am turning into something. I'm transforming yet again. That frequency that I heard back in 2018, 2019, I think it was 2019-ish. It kept me up for 7 days. I felt like my entire body was vibrating and I was shifting. I knew it was some type of alignment or realignment or, you know, adjusting my alignment, but I had no idea what to do with that. Now in 2023, I fully get it. And I'm at that space again where I'm shifting again. So I may not continue to do this, family. Like, I'm going to do this for as long as I can do this. I'm being called to tap into some other aspects and projects, okay? Other creative projects and endeavors. I don't plan on dropping the channel completely, but the channel may shift. I would like to personally cater more to light workers specifically. I would like to cater more to, you know, earth angels specifically. I would like to cater more to, I think, my water tribe, or, you know, like my Cancers and maybe my Leo. Like, I would like to cater more to the energies that I resonate more with, if that makes sense to you. Because diving in those waters that make me feel out of sorts, that I have to do all these things to energetically bring myself back and ground myself. I'm not enjoying that. I'm not enjoying doing that. Additionally, the more time I give to you guys, the more time I'm taking away from myself and my family, which I have a big family. So I need to dial it back a little bit. On a personal level, everything in my 3D world it's been like everything is blowing up, right? Again, and this happened to me before around that time. But that destructive energy, I do realize, is making room for what's to come. It's making room for the new, okay? So I need to make room for the new. So I love you guys. I thank you so much. Some of you guys have followed TL and I over from TikTok to YouTube. Thank you so much to those of you who have come with us on that journey, because we started there first, or we started building there first. YouTube has been awesome. This has been a super dope experience. I've loved every minute of being with you. The ones of you who actually do comment and give feedback, you guys have made me feel like it was worth my time and energy to come this far down the road with you. Thank you. Thank you so much. We've reached 1,000 subscribers over on Best of Both Oracles. I've heard that's actually the hardest number to hit. Like, I've heard that it's harder to hit 1,000 than it is to hit 100,000. So thank you so much to every single one of you that has been with us on that journey. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the connections. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you for the gratitude. Thank you for coming back and tuning into multiple, thank you for coming back and helping us grow. Just thank you so much for your energy. Thank you for sharing your stories, because That's what these cards do. When I lay these cards down, I'm looking at someone's life. I'm looking at someone's story. I'm feeling the pain they feel, the joy they feel, the shift they feel in their life, in their world, in their job, in their home. When TL and I read for you guys, we feel all of those. That's one of our strongest gifts is empathy. But I'm at a place now where I need to fine tune some things about myself so that I have more to offer to you guys, and that I know exactly what I want and, you know, what I intend to and am willing to offer to you guys. Okay, because some things I need to reserve for me, some things I need to reserve for my family, and it's just a tighten up time. I think this retrograde is bringing this to the table for me. So I totally should have been laying out your spread while I was talking all of that. So anyway, I say all of that to say thank you for the ride, guys. Thank you for being with me. I feel like I'm in the Truman Show. Like what'll happen next? You know. Hopefully you guys will stay tuned to find out what happens next. What happens with this channel? What happens with Best of Both Oracles? You know, I really hope you guys will continue to support TL from TL's Timeless Tarots. I hope that whatever Best of Both Oracles morphs into, if that is a possibility, that you guys will stay tuned to that, because it's still her and I. You get what I mean? It's still J Coffee and TL. It just, you know, may take it may transform a little bit. So I hope you guys stick with us. Anyway, let's get this spread laid for you guys. This is a light and shadow spread for my light workers. If you made it this far and you don't care to see me lay this spread out, then go ahead and hit the timestamp. Skip to the reading. I think I'll also timestamp this portion of the reading for those who like to see the shuffle get laid. Messages for the highest good of all those who watch these readings, please. Messages for the highest good of all those who watch these readings. Benevolent energies are welcome here. Only benevolent energies are welcome here. Only truthful energies are welcome here. No lying spirits, no malicious entities are welcome into my readings. Past light, present light, projected light. What you can see, what your heart needs. Facts, positive facts. Best action to be taken next. Beneficial changes. These cards are so big, I might run out of space, y'all. Some of them might be off camera. I'll be sure to hold them up so you can see what's there. Truth to be faced in the light. Thank you, Spirit. Look at this. On the bottom of the deck, you got Guardian Angel. Guardian Angel. That already lets me know. If you're an Earth Angel watching this, especially for those of you who know who you are or know your DNA, you're being protected right now. You could even be the protection for others right now. That's what I'm hearing. Some of you have been called to be guardians. We all have different jobs here. Some of us come to teach. Some of us came just as a beacon to put that energy out. When I was talking about that energy shift, it's difficult to resonate with others when you are the beacon, if that makes sense. I guess if you're a light worker, you would really get what I just said. It's difficult to resonate with others when you are the beacon. They have to come and match you. You can't lower your vibration and your frequency to match them, right? They have to come and match you. That's how that works. Show me the shadow aspects for my light workers, please. Shadow aspects for my light workers. The things they're not facing. What they're not dealing with. Things they're avoiding. Things they're trying to get away from. I'm already feeling some heavy sadness, y'all. Heavy sadness for the light workers. It is a hard time, guys, but in all honesty, things are changing. Like, this is an awesome... It's an awesome time to be alive. It's an awesome time. Difficult time. So awesome to be alive. Show me the fears and attacks hidden in the shadow, please. Fears and attacks hidden in the shadow. Projected out. What's in the shadow? Show me what they don't see. What the heart desires. Show me the assumptions. The worst actions. Unexpected obstacles. Truth to be faced in the shadow. Look at this. And on the bottom, they're already telling you, focus on the light. Focus on the light. So if you felt like you're in the dark, Spirit is telling you to focus on the light. You have the angels, ancestors, and guides are with you. You're here being protected, all right? No need to worry. No need to be afraid. Let's get this reading underway now. They just have to be what they're going to be. I don't want to... They just have to be what they're going to be. All right, so in the past, in the shadow, diving for the light. Can you even see that? In case you're curious, this is the Sacred Rebels deck. All right, this is number 11, Diving for the Light. I'm going to read a little bit from the book, just a section, okay? The Oracle of Diving for the Light speaks of a time when you're called into darkness through life circumstances, situations, relationship challenges, or inner struggles that defy clear understanding. The darkness may be a creative block, a sense of being in a void, or feelings of depression, rage, sadness, fear, or anxiety. There may not be an obvious cause. The darkness might be generally accepted and socially acknowledged because there is a socially acceptable or obvious reason for it, such as death, divorce, or retrenchment. However, there may be no obvious justification for your experience of darkness. You may not need a reason to be able to accept it. Likewise, you may struggle to find an unconditional acceptance of your experience. Just know that you are actually on track and right where you need to be. So here's the thing about this, family. If in the past you were dealing with, I'm feeling like some creative blockages, like because you felt that sadness, I'm actually seeing and hearing a friend of mine in this card right now. Very sweet girl. She's an Aries. Very sweet, but a lot of trauma that she had to come through. And this is making me feel these seahorses, like you've really been deep diving in that part. But if you've been doing like shadow work or inner child healing, you had to face a lot of things that were really nasty, really ugly. And that pain rising to the surface, I feel like has created a creative block for you. Like blocked your music, blocked your writing, blocked your whatever creative thing you're working on. You know, your ability to do your hair and cook properly even. You feel me? I don't know. Excuse me. I don't like that energy, that's all. And I know that's in the shadow, but I don't like it. So in the light, divine order. So there you go. There you go. In the light, this was happening for you, not to you. You understand? This is almost like a world card. It's like I started talking about, if you missed the beginning portion, I was talking about how I feel like my life personally is being like disrupted, like everything is being destroyed and broken down, and it hurts and it feels hard to overcome, but I know it's because room is being made for what's new. That's just an understanding, and really, yeah, that's just an understanding at this point. It's like I know when everything around me is chaotic and it seems like karma, you know, the lessons are beaten down on me. They're not really. They're taking away, they're removing everything that can't go with me into the next phase of my life. So that's what's probably happening for you. It's like you were blocked in your creative projects for a time so that you could do your shadow work, so that you could do your inner child healing work. Okay, that was the past. In the present, let's look at the shadow. There's the inspiration. There is the inspiration returning. So right now, your creative energy is being restored. It's almost like you're having a it's almost like you're having a Ace of Swords moment, right? Like that truth came through and cut something open, but it was so these flowers could bloom. Look, the bees are coming to her to pollinate this idea. Like this idea is growing. I'm feeling that sun energy. Yeah. Something is being birthed within you. If you are a woman, if you are a mother, there's no kind of pain you will ever feel in your life like birthing a child. Okay? So sometimes birthing a brand new energy or a brand new idea into the world, it hurts. Okay? Don't get Please don't be discouraged by that. Look, surrender. Oh my God, you're reading. Pardon me, family. So back to you. The reading keeps getting interrupted. My children are still under the weather, so there's just a lot going on. But I want to get back to this card because, yeah, this is in your light aspect. Yeah, Spirit is essentially asking you to surrender to the unknown, to surrender to the divine, to take everything that you've been dealing with, all the blockages, all the frustration, all of the things that make you anxious and fearsome, and lay that at the altar. Like, surrender. This is a time to surrender. Time to surrender to your gifts as well. Your new gifts, your upgrades, your a lot of people have gone through a level up between Pisces, Aries season, and now going into Taurus season. Mind you, whenever you watch this, it's fine. I'm just telling you the time frame we're in at the moment. And coming into this Taurus season has been like, this is where we're all seeing the results of the work that we put in from the past, you know, few seasons and beyond. But let's move on. I digress. Let's move on. So your projected light, this is what you're headed toward. Actually, it's still with the shadow first. Projected, what you're headed towards in the shadow is, how do you feel? Okay, and this is asking you, I believe that this card is asking you, like with her gazing up at the world, I feel like this card is calling to attention. How do you feel? Apples and oranges. Like, what have you been able to discern? Because you're in the world. You're in it, but you're not of it. And that's why it looks like such a confusing place to you sometimes. That's why it looks like you're not sure what choices to make sometimes. You know, I don't know why this is standing out to me. It's like she's a woman, but she's dressed as a man. You know what I mean? Like, she's a woman, but she's wearing like a man's shirt and a man's tie, you know, and it's like, I'm really trying to figure out my way. Okay, so okay, so after the chaos, you're having this breakthrough moment, but now it's time for you to set your intentions. You get what I'm saying? That's what it makes me feel, is this card. See, and this is the light side, purgatory. Interesting. Yeah, so you feel like, all right, parts of me are feeling like you feel as if you are in a form of, like, it's been a hellish like it's been hellish, right? We talked about the chaos. We talked about destruction. We talked about why it's happening so you can make room for the new. But there's something that's an issue here that you have to deal with. Like, you're still dealing with a blockage. I'm gonna look in the book for this. Just give me, pardon me. If I haven't said it already, just in case you're wondering, these cards are the Magdalene Oracle, okay? Purgatory. I'm reading from the book on this. The emotional ups and downs you are experiencing are a part of a healing process through which all that no longer serves you is being transformed and released. Though it may not seem like it, this is a positive time for you. To help facilitate the healing process, make a list of anything you feel no longer serves a useful purpose in your life, include in this list all negative thoughts and fears. Once you have made your list, practice the following meditations. Imagine yourself and everything on your list being showered by golden light. Now imagine a beautiful violet flame emerging from within the golden light. Isn't that funny how you see that? Like, yeah. All right, imagine the violet flame transforming all negativity into golden light. Continue to focus on the healing power of the violet flame. Feel it transform you, clear, and heal you. Transformation sometimes mean that we need to let something go. That's surrender, okay? Trust in this process. All you surrender will automatically be healed or replaced with something more suitable. Now, has that not been the theme of this reading, family? Y'all are getting a deep reading, man. And it's been challenging with the interruptions. I'm not going to give up on this reading because I feel like it's really important for you. What's unseen? This is your unseen challenge right now. New birth guarded vigilantly. See what I'm saying? See how we talked about that birth? We talked about that pain of birthing something new. We talked about that pain, the struggle of bringing something new into the 3D realm. This is amazing because this is all about your transformation. And look, that guardian angel, mind you, these are two different decks. New birth guarded vigilantly. It's like you may not realize it, but because this is divine order, divine timing, a fated event in your life. Remember, this reading is, anyone is welcome to watch this reading, but this reading is for my light workers. This is for you who know. This is for you who are in the time of that struggle. This is for those of you who have, as a caterpillar, climbed into your cocoon, your chrysalis, and dissolved your body. You're being liquefied right now, but you're going to come out a completely different creature. You're going to come out as that butterfly. That sounds painful, right? Like that, I don't know. That doesn't sound like easy to do to me. That doesn't sound like a real simple thing. It sounds like complete and utter transformation. This is in your light. This is what you see. This is the scene challenge, war and peace. Just looking at that card makes me feel like you have a conflict between the religion you once knew, or like your spiritual, religious practices, belief systems. I feel like that's actually warring with your inner peace, because there's something happening within you that has been communicating with you. Let's just call it the God in you. Let's call it your conscience. Let's call it wisdom. Let's call it the Holy Spirit. Like there's something in you that has been ministering to you, helping you grow, leading you, guiding you, bringing you revelation. You may be having dreams right now that are just pure revelation, like letting you know what are your next step. And there's just a little bit of confusion there. But this is what you can see. What you don't see, what you're not seeing, is how fiercely protected you are by the divine, by power and wisdom, by the divine masculine and feminine, right? That birthed this creation. They're protecting you so that you, fractal of God, can birth your new creation into existence. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So what does your heart want right now? This is in the shadow aspect of your heart. Sacred Fool. Oh, wow. You want this new beginning. Your heart wants it. Your heart wants it. Your heart wants to take a leap of faith. Your heart wants to do something different. Your heart is actually tired of breaking and breaking and breaking. Your heart is tired of being broken over and over and over again. You want something completely new. You want to be the puppet master. You don't want to be the marionette. Like, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Yeah, you don't want to be the doll. You don't want to be the one that's controlled. You want to be the one that's able to manipulate the strings. And I don't mean of others. I mean, you want to have the control of yourself. In the light aspect, crucifixion. This is once again about that surrender. In the light aspect, you're like, look, my spirit knows that I have the power to write my own story. My spirit knows that I've been gifted. I've been granted the opportunity to co-create with spirit. But I also know that there is a level of surrender. So like, this is like your ego saying, I want to be in complete control. And this is your spirit saying, we know that we need to surrender to the divine in some way, shape, or form. Right? That is a hard thing to understand sometimes. Like, just saying that out of my mouth, talking about it. That is a hard thing to understand sometimes. The difference between what is you and what is outside of you. People have all kinds of theories and personal pan pizza perspectives on who or what God is, how God is, how we should be, how we should have a relationship with God. Some people don't believe in a divine entity at all. Some people don't believe in source at all. Some people believe they are God and there is no God outside of themselves. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. Just as I always say to y'all, like tarot is a tool, not a religion. I just use this to help me read energy. I don't have a religious practice, if that makes sense. I once upon a time did. I don't these days. I'm what would be considered, I guess, a free spirit. I do what I'm led to do. I do what I'm called to do. And that's it. I stick with that. I don't claim this or that, like I don't, whatever. That's irrelevant. What is relevant is what I'm trying to say about this need to control versus this need to surrender. It's like somehow you have to marry the two, right? Sometimes you have to know what to lay on the altar. So when it comes to what was blocking you, I feel like what's been blocking you is like the ego. Let's call that the carnal. Let's call that the lower self. Let's call that pride. Let's call that arrogance. Let's call that I studied all these things and I think I know something, right? It's like I studied all these things. I studied all these religions. I studied all these holy books. I studied all these history books. I studied all these reference books. I studied and I studied and I studied. So that makes me knowledgeable. That's ego. That's ego. Because your spirit says the wise man knows he knows nothing at all. The wise man understands the concept of bearing your cross daily, right? That crucifying the flesh so that the spirit can live. It's the same concept as fasting, for example. I deny myself food or the things that I really want to have. Like, let's say I fast from meat for a month, or let's say I fast from, no sugar, no bread, no pasta, whatever. It's like that is a form of discipline. That's why the people who rolled with Christ were called disciples. They were disciplined. All right. The etymology on that word is like a form of self-control. But there was a surrender. Like you are surrendering. It's like I'm relinquishing this aspect of me, of my carnal flesh, so that I can gain spiritual knowledge, so that I can gain spiritual power, so that I can gain that enlightenment, that clarity of vision, that spiritual discernment, that wisdom. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is, family. That's why you feel like you're in hell. You feel like you've been in hell because you can't see the way right now. So you need to come to a place of clarity. That means you probably need to, realign. I'm feeling like grounding. Like you need to ground yourself. You need to take your shoes off and walk outside. I don't know what part of the world you live in watching this, but here we're going into spring where I live in the US, and it's getting warm enough for you to surely do that. You might not be something you'd love to do in the wintertime. Some people love to do that in the wintertime. Like, I think about it when I was a child. I used to love for my feet to actually touch the snow, and my hands. I wanted to go outside. I didn't want to put my snow boots on and my snowsuit and all that. I wanted to go outside and I wanted to touch that snow. I knew how cold and icy it was, but I wanted to feel that. I wanted to experience that. To this day, I want to touch snowflakes when they drop into the hand, and rain. I want to feel that rain. I want to feel the energy of the creation itself. I want to submerge myself in the water. You know what I mean? So much so that I will even open my eyes under the water to just experience what it is to be one with the water. And that's what I'm feeling like you may be being called to do. Ground yourself, like reconnect to the earth. Maybe you've been on such a heady journey, or you've been studying so much, or you've been spending so much time in a certain space that it's like you got to reconnect. You got to reconnect to this realm, to this reality. Oh, that would make sense if you're an earth angel, by the way. All right, let's deal with facts. This is facts. No. Yeah, this is assumptions right here. This card I'm about to pull, this is what you assume. Oh my God. In the world, not of the world. You assume this? I feel like you know this, yeah. I feel like you know this. You're in the world, not of the world. Maybe you don't have proof yet, okay? Like if you don't have proof that you have some type of otherworldly DNA, okay? Like you don't have proof that you have Siren DNA. You don't have proof that you have Lyran DNA, Palladian DNA, something like that. Like some other tribe or culture that's not just human. But you feel like, I'm not from here though. I'm just visiting. This is not my home. I'm just visiting. That's your assumption. It's like, I know I'm something more than this shell, or I know there's something in me that by genetic law, like Superman who carried the codex, like there's something in my blood that's actually calling out saying, I'm not from here. I'm here, but I'm not from here. This is not home. That's a very starseed type of feeling. All right. The facts though, Sophia. Oh. All right. So this is interesting because this whole reading has been about you. This is actually someone else showing up in your reading, light worker. Sophia. Someone dear to you needs your love and support at the moment. perhaps even your forgiveness. Put aside any recent disagreements. Let it all go and make up. Deep down, you both know that you love each other. Life is too short to waste. Adopt a loving attitude, for love will heal all things. Honor and respect each other's differences. Individuality is sacred. You are both beautiful souls. Through love and forgiveness, a world of infinite possibility and contentment awaits you. Now, I don't know, for those of you who didn't hear my little talk in the beginning of the reading, this is what I was talking about from a personal space. Having to let go of people where there's a frequency gap, where we just cannot resonate anymore. I'm not resonating with a lot of people anymore. That doesn't mean I stop loving them. So this card is calling you to consider that, yeah, you're here. Yeah, you got all this work to do. Yeah, you're all spiritual and all of that. But the people around you have not stopped loving you. And there's someone who really needs you. That could even be a parent, a child, a close friend, you know, a sibling. Like somebody is here that needs you. Interesting. That's the light aspect too, because you don't think people need you anymore, because you may be feeling like, I don't need people anymore. So maybe you think people don't need you anymore. And it's the exact opposite. You may not feel like you need anybody. You want people around, but you don't need them. But they might need you, family. You came here to do a job. You may be in the world, not of the world, but you're still in the world. Other people are here in the world. And then there's people that I feel you may have cut off that are actually beneficial to your path. Because the reality is, we're all students and we're all teachers, right? For those of us who have graduated to more of the teacher energy, it's the students that actually pushed us to level up. So this could be one of your students here in need of your assistance. All right, so the worst possible action you could take the worst action you could take or are taking right now is dream a beautiful dream. Now, obviously, this is not a negative card, but at the same time, this reading started here with what you're approaching. Now, this is also like what you're approaching. What do you feel? See that world there? And that world there? You're trying to get your discernment right? Trying to get your discernment right. Is it an apple? Is it an apple? Is it an orange? Where do I fit into this world? So maybe that's why Spirit was blocking you. Like maybe whatever dream you had for yourself, it could have been like a toxic dream. It could have been a toxic dream. I don't know why I said that. I know what I mean to say, but that wasn't what I meant to say. That doesn't capture what I'm feeling. Oh, okay. So this whole reading has been about surrendering, right? And learning how to co-create with Spirit instead of just taking the charge and being like, I got it. You know, whatever that was that you were doing from a place of ego, arrogance. There may be something that's a part of that dream or vision that is not expedient for you to do. You get what I'm saying? It might be something that could kind of take you off the path Spirit is pushing you to be on right now. Oh. This is the best action, past lives. Alrighty. Okay, so here's the thing. Dang, this could even be who this is. This could even be who this is. Right here. Somebody from your past life. You could have some unfinished business with someone from a past life that's showing up and saying, friend, I need you. Wife, spouse, lover, sibling, whoever this person views you as, they're like, I need you. We still have some unfinished business. So that's why your path is being blocked. Because Spirit will support you, but it's like if there's something that needs to be done, you'll run into a lot of challenges until you resolve this, because this is like past life karma. And I don't even feel like there's any negative about that. It's like something you still need to learn, or something you still need to overcome, or something that you need to do. It could even be some type of activation you need to bring into someone else's life. Before you can complete this dream, you got to deal with something here. Could be some past life karma. You may need to do some work with your working with the Akashic Records. All right. An unexpected obstacle that's presenting itself. Oh my gosh. Releasing allegiances. Yeah. This is like you being reborn, okay? This is like you being reborn. Where's that card? This one. Inspiration. See how all these bees are coming in to pollinate this flower? This one is having this epiphany, this brand new creative idea that's about to burst open, like the sun is about to erupt. This is about to come through. It's like the sun is about to come through and break you out of that purgatory you've been in. This releasing allegiances is everything we've talked about. You're about to release somebody, and it could be somebody that you never thought you would release ever in your life. It could even be this past life person. Like, you guys may have a conversation to end all conversations. This is a 10. Yeah, this is an ending. It's like you've been stung. You've been hurt so badly, but all of that pain, all of that nightmare was so that you could be birthed. So that you could birth something new. You could become something new. This is the, oh, see, this is the light, the liberation. It's going to set you free. Once you deal with this, whatever this is, this past life karma right here, and once you release that alliance, you're going to be set free. You're going to be liberated. Oh, man. That's powerful. I got to read that card, y'all. I got to read that card. Give me a second. All right, so liberation. This is from the Magdalene Oracle book. A person who recently hurt or disappointed you in some way is simply a mirror for the hurt and disappointment you already held inside you. All the events of your life, regardless of whether you label them good or bad, are simply acts of love. The hurt or disappointment you now feel is an opportunity for you to examine what it is you don't love about yourself. It's safe for you to open your heart. Love yourself as you are and stop placing unreasonable expectations on yourself. Through self-acceptance comes a new form sense of freedom, which transforms the way you see life and the world around you. That's what it is, family. That's going to change this. That's going to change this. It's going to liberate you from that confusion. It's going to liberate you from that purgatory, from that indecision, from that limbo, from that feeling like, man, am I in hell here? No, you're not. But you've been in a prison. You've been in a mental prison due to whatever karma you have with this person. You got to deal with that. You got to deal with that, because honestly, all problems are a you problem, for real. All problems are a you problem. Like, when you're offended by someone else and you're pained by what someone else is doing, it's forcing you, it's asking you, I should say, it's asking you to look at yourself and how could you do things differently. That doesn't take the accountability away from the person who did it, but that accountability is between them and God. You understand? The problem that you're having is between you and God, you, yourself, and you. You get me? So, all right, let's look at the shadow. This is the truth to be faced. This is the ugly truth you don't want to face. What you want wants you. What you want wants you. This being in the shadow aspect makes me feel like, as much as it makes me feel like you were trying to avoid this. Like you were trying to avoid this unfinished business. You were trying to avoid this argument or this disruption or this tower, right? Because this whole reading feels like a tower, honestly. It feels like a destruction and then an enlightenment, an epiphany, and a shift. What you want wants you. So you called this in. That's what I'm trying to say. You actually brought this upon yourself. Whatever it was you were dreaming of with this dream, a beautiful dream, that's where that's saying it was a toxic dream. That's what it was that came out. It's like you called in a tower moment with this person because you were so desperate for your liberation. This person came in and they showed you a nasty or ugly side of yourself that you needed to address so that you could clean that up, tighten that up, and heal that. But what you want wants you. So you manifested it. That's the ugly truth that you have to face. And the beautiful truth that's presenting itself to you, oh my God, it's co-creation. It's co-creation. You can do this with spirit once you surrender. So you've been in your own blockage, family. You've been in your own way. You've been allowing someone else to influence what you do with your life, with your time, with your move, with your, with your money, whatever. And it's like, you need to face this. You need to face this person. You need to face yourself so that you can take back control of your life, because spirit is here. Like, they want to support you. Okay, the Most High Source, infinite source, truth, creator of all things, the divine, the universe, whatever it is you would call that, they're here for you. Okay, they're here for you, supporting you, but you weren't going to avoid having to deal with this truth. You weren't going to avoid having to deal with looking in the mirror. You weren't going to escape karma. Okay, I hate when people use the word karma in a negative way, because it might not feel good, but it's why we're here. It's the reason we're here. This is a schoolhouse. We came to learn. How can you learn without a lesson? That's what karma is. It's the lesson. Did you get it? I hope you get it. I love y'all so much. I hope to see you again over here at the Oracle House or on Best of Both Oracles. We'll see what the future brings for us all, won't we? I love y'all. Peace.